lovely peeps. Here's Catherine Bihlmeier. You remember the author of the upcoming book, but in German it's already out. So that's here, my book. In German it's here. And today, in the Ban Burnout Summit, where he also is a speaker. Okay, my internet where I am at is not the best one. Where is Jan? Is he already in? So we're just checking that Jan Robberts can come in and speak with me here. And we're gonna have a very interesting topic. It's about distance, humanity, leadership, and reconnecting, engaging. Yes. Hi, Jan. I was just already starting to speak that I'm gonna have you here as a special guest. Hi, Jan. Thank you for being with me. And my connection is not so good, so it's off and on. We just keep speaking. So
yes.
Jan Robberts can go on. My internet is a bit funny here. Yesterday it was better.
I think it's going to be challenging today.
Well, we do a video recording and then we put it up. That was easier. We were less disturbed before. I'm really sorry, guys, that internet is not so much really helpful at the moment.
Yeah, but it's a live show and these things happen.
Okay. So then we just go on here. So what is your approach to all that? The disconnection, the distance, technology, humanity. So what is your approach to all that?
Well, yeah, I mean, actually, I'm talking at the an Africa mining conference this afternoon as well, and it's all about what's new in 2022 and not, and I think it is so easy nowadays with technology changing faster all the time that I can't keep up, and I don't even want to keep up with all of it, but. To stay relevant, we need to know a certain amount of it, but I think there is a big danger that we are so focused on technology and advancement of all the wonderful things around us that we are distancing ourselves from the very people that we should be closer to. We are sitting so much longer in front of our screens. We are sitting. We are also so fearful of what technology will do to our jobs, to our livelihoods, and if our company will even survive these challenging times. So there is a lot of anxiety, stress, and depression about them. And as you and I both have been talking in this amazing Stop Burnout Summit with Dr. Stephanie Stoddart interviewing us, I think there is a lot of different aspects from 18 different speakers who each brings something to the table that we really need to take into serious consideration, because burnout, again, it's like loneliness. It doesn't happen all of a sudden. It comes upon us, and many people have been very lonely in the last 2.5 years. And I think what it's really done is it's really highlighted what is really happening, because there has been many people who've been lonely for a lot of time before that. I've said to people, you can be in a crowd of 100 people yet be lonely, and because we're losing the art of communication with all these kind of things that we have. We're losing the art of communication. We're losing we don't even give each other the time to listen to each other anymore. And I think listening is one of the top values. I'm also a values-based leadership expert. Listening is one of the top values that we should all take on board, because we always overestimate our own listening skills and underestimate everybody else's. And I said, with listening, it is sometimes that's all that's needed. Somebody needs to be heard. When people still feel that they matter, when they feel that they're heard, it can change a life, it can save lives. And we need it now so much more than ever before, because we are heading into a disaster, especially with the youth as well, haven't been away from each other. The old people haven't been able to get together and not understanding all of what's happening. And, there is so much misery that has been created around the world, and we need to stop it. We as humans can stop this. And the first thing we need to do is, start looking at ourselves first, because we can't give what we haven't got. And that's why I also talk into self-care. And then when we start looking at ourselves, what can I do? Because we can blame everybody else for what's wrong in our lives. But what can I do to ensure that tomorrow will be better? Well, the only thing that I can do to ensure that tomorrow will be better, if I do something to improve myself today. So if we can start improving ourselves, and then, think about it. If you're around miserable people, how you feel. So, I mean, you don't want to be around them. And that's why I decide not to be miserable anyway. I have no time for that. But I think if we can all be a little bit happier, if we can all focus a little bit more on our fellow human being, what can we do for somebody else at their time of need? And when we have times of needs as well, if we focus on others, our needs don't seem quite as bad. But it talks into what I really talk into a lot as well as intentionality, that we need to become more intentional, and also significance. How can we get that feeling of significance? And that doesn't take money, it doesn't take age, it doesn't take gender, it doesn't take religion. It takes just being ready to open your heart to other people.
Yeah, totally. I'm also, like, always in all my workshops or when I'm working with people, it's really about being present, starting to listen into yourself, into your heart, into your body. We often forget our body to really listening to that. And if you already do that, then the burnout might not come really, because if you are really listening in the daily, then you are already in tune with your body, and your body gives you so many symptoms and signs even before that. Long before that. So, and if you also take actions in what you are hearing from your body, is already a prevention of a burnout and stress. Even stress for me is always a sign to that you are aware of a lot of things, and if you are just more present with that, then there is in the present, it's dissolving, and it's let us less distract with all this technology and have more engagement with ourselves, and also more presence, which in the presence includes anyway everything and everyone. And in the present, there is so much healing also possible. You just go and you are present with your body, with yourself. And in that, when, you smile because you are in peace, because I experience when I'm really in this presence, then it's peaceful. It's happiness, which is already flowing through you. And you just go, and with that feeling of all is connected anyway. There is nothing excluded in that. And that's what I see, that we need more and more and more of that, and really starting to, as you said, with the art of living, really coming back to the art of living again, and start to really, everywhere where we go, allow that this energy, which you are, happiness, is flowing and blooming everything else, and bringing back everyone else into more consciousness and connectedness, without doing so much, just being you really in this presence. It's not easy, and it requires really in these times with all this technology and all that, what we have in these distractions world here, to really stay in you and in your presence, and let your presence just create what requires creations into this world, without any head, without any mind, just not going in the way with the head, but having it like water, just letting the water of creation running through you.
Wow.
That's what I'm just waking up back again. I was already there, and then I got caught up with some new tools, which was very helpful. And now I'm coming back into really being more present, because I'm so much seeing that if we are present with ourselves, it's so much easier. Life is so much easier. And people are just happy to connect with you, and you are happy to connect with people. And there is not so much loneliness when you're really in this wholeness, which you are.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I love all of that, because, you know, as you said as well, it's to get back to living. I think so many people are, especially in the last few years, they've been so fearful of dying that they forget to start living. You know, we need to stop. I mean, it's going to happen anyway. You know, I did a talk about cancer as well, and I call it 3 little words, and that's what people don't want to hear. You have cancer. And the first thing I say when I did my talk, I say, you know, I'm going to put you at ease. We've all got cancer. We're all going to die. And so now get it out of the way. You know, but I say it's how you deal with that. That's the problem, because we seem to be so focused on not becoming ill, not catching a virus, not catching or not having it, and yet it comes, because that's what we concentrate on. So would it then not make sense that we start concentrating a little bit more on the positive things in life? You know, what will help us through life rather than what will hinder us through life? And what can we do? And that's why we need to become more intentional, because we've been in a way so programmed for so many years by all kinds of institutions and whatever, but to follow a certain line. We've lost our creativity. We've lost our I would nearly say the will to think. And I say we need to start thinking again, because, you know, it was somebody said once. He said, you know, 2% of people think, 3% think they think, and 95% would rather die than think. Now, and he was an author, but obviously philosopher as well. But I think this is what's wrong with most people. They mistake mental activity for thinking, and we just follow, and then we wonder why we end up in the mess we're in. Because we follow the negativity that goes around us. We follow the negativity. I mean, I have no newspapers. I haven't bought one for probably closer to 40 years. We have no, well, there's a television screen in this house, but we have no television, haven't had one for years. And I don't feel I'm missing out, but I've replaced it with positive books, with YouTube videos, because garbage in, garbage out. And we need to control of, you know, what we can't control. And what we can't control is how we react or respond to life, how we react to respond to all the things that happen to us. And if we constantly keep reacting, which happens from the outside, then we are at the mercy of the world, of everything else around us. But when we start responding, that comes from inside. Then we can actually do something and maybe take a split second every now and then, or maybe a little more time to think, is this going to take me to something more beautiful, or is this going to take me down the slippery slope that everybody else is going? We are pack animals, so we don't really want to stand out. But we were born to fit in. Nobody is, by the way, and everybody matters. But we cannot matter enough if we keep complaining in groups and how bad things really are and how much worse they're getting, especially in Europe as well this now. And I just came back from Scotland in the UK, and when you listen to the energy prices and all that kind of stuff, I mean, but what can we do? What can we do at least to make our lives a little bit easier, to stop ourselves getting caught up in the hysteria even of what's happening around us, and it all adds up. And as we know, all of a sudden we are empty because we forgot to fill ourselves. And as I said, you can't give what you haven't got. So you forgot to fill yourselves, and all of a sudden you're empty, and that's when we burn out. And people say, I never saw it coming. No, most people don't see it coming because they're so focused in what they're doing, and they feel they need to please everybody else. They feel they need to do everything for everybody else, and eventually they have never done anything for themselves. That's why my ebook is just about ready, and it's called, and I'm putting a whole series together as well, and it's called Self-Care Isn't Selfish, Becoming Healthier Happens by Choice, Not by Chance. And I just wanted to be a catalyst, because people look at self-care and say, oh, eating better, sleeping and exercising. No, there is so much more to it. As you already mentioned, aspects of it, the mindfulness, your attitude, your behaviors, all these other kind of things that people never think about. And I wanted to be a catalyst for people, that they all of a sudden realize, it's time that I started looking after my own health first. It's time that I start looking after me, so I can. I always said the only person I compete with is me, because I want to become better so I can do more and be more to other people. And that's my only reason. It's not to an ego that I want to be the best or something. I mean, I'm a competitor, don't get me wrong. But I want to ensure every day to improve myself every day, because people sometimes said, what is the best way to ever get somewhere close to that destiny we all talk about? I say, well, if you ever want to get close to it, I think the one way that's going to happen is, and probably the only way, is intentional daily personal development. Leadership is all about personal development, and self-leadership. People sometimes are afraid of the word leadership, and I think it's for them. I says, no, leadership begins with self-leadership, and self-leadership begins with personal development. And we, at the same time, what we need to stop doing is to stop blaming other people for what is wrong in our lives. Have a look at the conversation, have a conversation with the person on the other side of the mirror, and decide that that person needs to be asked some honest questions and get some honest answers back. And because we need to start with self. See, when we've all heard the wonderful quote, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, what does that really mean? That means that we need to become better every day. How can we do that? Become intentional. Get up in the morning and become intentional, and make sure that your day matters, because your life matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yes. To stop being on autopilot and living our life in a survival modality or modus. And really, life is, I mean, so beautiful if you're really here, if you're really with whatever comes your way, and not go in your mind in what I often see is like people think if they are really engaging, it's like thinking a lot and speaking a lot out of their mind, then rather really, as you mentioned it before, really listening. And listening for me is not like I heard that word and then I put it into a box, which now I know what this person is telling me, but more like listening with the wholeness, your body, your heart, everything, your whole awareness is listening, because we are energetic beings, and energetic beings don't really follow to understand the person and try to understand the person or life, or try to understand the situation, but more like having it and letting yourself ask questions. What is here required? With every question you ask, you get delivered. Ask and you get delivered. So all that is already tools, really kind of living and stop staying in this survival mode. Is wanting to lead you. Life is wanting to lead you to something. So that's, and we are so used to that someone else is going to take actions for us, or is going to tell us what's going on or what we need to do. And we're so used to go into the realities of others and buying into that, than rather having our possibilities here and taking those, what is really possible for everyone. Because I always say, how many stars there are, so many possibilities are here for each situation. We just need to open up to that and stop trying to survive, always coming from the fear. Because my experience is when I come from a platform of fear, I'm just totally creating what I was fearing. If I come from an open heart of receiving everything and trusting that there is also the universe having my back and we're just gonna thrive through a challenge, then it's gonna create so much more for me, for my life, but also for other people. If I don't come from this limited mind, but really from a bigger space, which you are too, or everyone has. Yeah, that's amazing conversation, Jan. I really enjoyed that. And of course, you can still jump in the Ban Burnout, but because you see already, we two, Jan and me, are speaking in that, and it's still going on. You get every day your speaker in and can listen to that, and it's not just about burnout. It's really a much broader aspects of life, different aspects of life with many tools. So just join and come. And Jan, thank you very much for your time and for bringing your aspects and your perspective in and waking up also people here. And thank you very much. And good luck and enjoy your speak in the afternoon. And yes.
And also you.
Which is I'm sending you, and also your lovely wife, which is also part of self-development and. Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah, and thank you as well, and wish you success with your workshop in Italy as well. I mean, you're traveling around Europe at the moment, so. But I just want to reiterate what you just said, that the Dr. Stephanie Stoddart, she's been amazing in gathering speakers from all around the world with all these different topics, and it's when people see burnout, they sometimes switch off, but I think people should switch on and wonder what this is all about, because it isn't. People don't realize how much there is to this, and with such a variety of speakers from around the world, there'll be something for everybody there. It might not be everything for everybody, but that's never going to happen. But it's free. Why don't people sign up? It's only week 2, and they're going to be going until the 18th of September with one speaker getting interviewed by the wonderful Dr. Stephanie. And she's so passionate about it because she had burnout. So she knows exactly what she talks about. And she wants to, as the summit says, she wants to ban this. So I'm sure I speak for both of us that it's a privilege for both of us to be part of this. But I really want to thank you for inspiring me today with everything you've brought to the table today as well. It's been wonderful meeting you, and it's been a great pleasure, and wish you an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you very much, Jan. And hopefully we can create something different again, something when you have time, because it's really wonderful having these lovely conversations, and everyone brings different aspects in. So that's really great. And yes, so I'm going to put the link in, just sign up. Yesterday I had an interview with Dr. Stephanie Stoddart too, how she came to that. And I'm also speaking about, because I was also in burnout, so I would have not know what I was going through, but afterwards I got to know what you call that. And yes, so it's full of new perspective and new possibilities here. So just grab your seat and come in. And even at the end, Dr. Stephanie was also saying that she's gonna put it up as a bundle so you can still get it. Also, if you come in the last day, that doesn't matter. So just come and hop in. Yeah. And thank you very much, Jan, and say hello to Afi.
I certainly will do.
And let's see what we can create.
Indeed. Thank you, Catherine, and good luck with your tour.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Auf Wiedersehen.